I think a big thing people need to do, like you do, really, Cabal, and I'll actually take a second to kind of praise Cabal. I'm not gonna do this very often, guys. Don't get used to it. But someone like Cabal it's a pseudo community. I think real life communities are better. They have a much better impact on people. Real life interactions are much more real in people's minds. But forming even just online communities that have this kind of peer group network where you're getting not only news from people that you trust in a parasocial sense, but news from people you trust in an actual sense, people you actually know. And
Mhm.
once you start having information webs of people who actually know each other, it is much easier to drag yourself out of the
Yeah.
bubble of unreality that the news media places you in. And that really is why these communities get smashed so often. It's because they are quite literally one of the most terrifying things to our current regime is just the ability for people to communicate in a peer group outside of the control of a central force.
Yes.
From what the literature I've read, it seems blasé, but it does genuinely scare them. They are genuinely scared of places like Cabal.
Good. And I would only say on that yeah, I agree that real life communication is better than online in terms of the richness. But there's something to be said for quantity. You know, quantity has a quality all of its own, and if you require real life, you're almost certainly going to be doing it less often, and only with people that are nearby. So you lose a lot of quantity. You keep higher quality, but you lose a lot of quantity. So I think it's about both. Yes, real life stuff
Yeah,
important.
it is.
Definitely do the real life
As I
stuff.
keep saying, people
But
people always ask me, is like, what's the solution to all this? I'm just like, do all of it. Do what you can
yeah,
do best. Like
yeah,
if you
which
look at
is what I'm
what
going to
like
say.
the
Like
raise,
the online is the
yeah.
thing I can do best. That's the thing I know. So I'm doing it. We're building up a trust network here from the ground up by doing it the hard way, by figuring out if we can actually trust people.
Yeah,
And
and
that's what we need to do.
but that's why not to shill, but I do run real life events when I can. I've not been able to for a little bit, but we do our little nomos events, which is really a way of just getting people together, and they're mainly kind of networking and kind of pressing the flesh things, and a bit more formal. People dress up a bit, and it's in a slightly nicer venue kind of thing. And it's also just kind of nice, but it is important for people to manifest in real life. But if they don't feel comfortable or able to do that, to be able to communicate. Online because I found that being able to communicate in people in lots of different countries as well as give me a much broader perspective on what's going on. And sometimes when I talk about stuff, it is from a specifically British perspective because things are very different in a lot of different countries. We must remember that the politics of different nations are not like our own, and they can be radically different.
Indeed.